What's going on, everybody? Just did a sports where I had to come on the Mike Flair channel, give you motivation straight up, no cupcakes, no cookies, straight up motivation, no sweetness. So today, you see the title Personal Development Over Politics. What do I mean by that? Me as an individual, I don't get caught up in politics, especially mainstream politics. I don't get caught up in that stuff. I'll tell you why in just a second. But what I want to stress to the youth, middle age, if you live long enough, I know maybe I came to this realization early, is that my personal development way more important than worrying about something that I only know maybe 5%, if that, about. But me as a husband, me as a father, me as an individual, I deal with that every day. And if I want to improve, if I want to have, as a provider, put my family in better situations, my personal development will outweigh what I see on TV. The access that I don't have to really understand what I'm looking at. So that's one of my points. Personal development. Why is personal development crucial? If you do not develop yourself from a personal standpoint, you will become stagnated. You won't grow, whether spiritually, whether physically, not working out, just not doing it, or mentally. You have to take the initiative to develop yourself based on um, growing your mindset, growing your education, growing your skill set, and growing your communication. You are responsible. You have to get to that point and understand up here that Mike is responsible for Mike development. I cannot depend on another person for my development. It's something that I have to do. If I don't know it, I need to know it. Some things you don't need to know. You just need to leave it alone. It's not going to help your development. Say, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? You have to factor that kind of stuff into your decision making. Do I need this for my development or I don't need this for my development? Sometimes we can pick the wrong things. I've been there. In my 20s, I picked the wrong things for my development. And I had to redo that foundation. I had to do some rebuilding and get my priorities straight and pick the right things and opportunities for my development. So personal development is very crucial, especially once you graduate high school and become an adult. When you're on your own, you don't have counselors anymore. Most of the time, you're on your own. You're not living under your parents' rule. It's your rules now, and all your choices and things will show what you're made of. It'll show what you're thinking. It'll show where your mindset is based on your decisions and choices. I say this a lot. We are where we are, or Mike is where Mike is based on his decisions and choices, good, bad, or indifferent. And you can outlive bad choices and bad decisions, but you got to outlive it and make better decisions based on personal development. Very crucial. Very crucial.
It's always business, never personal.
You have to look at it from a business standpoint and not take everything personal because there will be things you're going to face. Matter of fact, let me pull that graphic up. I think I still got it in here. When you look at the life spectrum, this is just some of the things you're gonna face in life. You're gonna deal with some things that are fair, but more times than not, you may not. Depends on where you are demographically or geographically, depending on where you are. Like I said, I'm from the South, so it's a little different living in the South in Little Rock. So you're gonna deal with the gray area stuff a lot, whether it's stereotyping, manipulation, bias, unfairness. Sometimes you get exploited because you don't know. What you don't know can hurt you. That's what they mean by you can get exploited. Race, that's like the more extreme. Sometimes it could be a mixture of both. It could be race and unfairness, race and stereotype, race and bias, and there's all kind of little things mixed in there. But when you become business minded, you won't let it stop you. You know that it's there, but you won't let it stop you from progressing. Personal progress, you have to progress. It's not going to be easy, but you have to find the Teflon skin. You have to condition your mind to understand that there are going to be hurdles that I have to jump, but I'm going to jump that hurdle. Nothing's going to stop me from getting to where I'm trying to get to. Not race, not manipulation, not stereotyping, not bias. Nothing's going to stop me. It may slow me down, but it's not going to stop me. It may knock me down, but I'm going to get back up and I'm going to keep going. It's not going to stop me from developing myself personally. Period. So, the next one is I really got to hit on this. Um, how much does the regular working person know about mainstream politics? Think about all the people in your proximity. I'm putting myself in this. If you have never worked in politics or know somebody directly that have worked in politics that can give you inside information, how would you know about mainstream politics? How would you know? How do you know how they make their decisions? How do you know what it's based on? A lot of times, the only thing that we seeing though is around the time like it just happened, election time, and you see all the commercials, you see all these little signs they put in people's yards, and wherever people voted, they put all these signs up. Hi, I'm so and so XYZ, and I need your vote. Vote me to be in Department of Justice, or vote me to be a judge, or all these things. But do we really know about the other side of the fence when you get inside of the fence of politics? Do we know about that as regular people? I know for me, the average working person, I know for me, when you get up in the morning, you getting your kids ready, me and wife getting the kids ready, whether one person getting the clothes ready for them, another person is making the food, or we doing everything, just trying to figure it out. The last thing we thinking about is mainstream politics. Just being realistic. You don't get up thinking, well, let me do 2 hours of research on politics. Well, most people go to work. It may be talking points, but do we really know what we're talking about when we're talking about mainstream politics? Or are you repeating what you heard on the news or what you read in the newspaper? And we all know that the FCC regulates the communication of what they say. And I'll give you an analogy. If I asked you, if you don't work in IT, and I asked you about IT, what could you tell me? If you never worked in IT, most people would just say they think you're just working on computers, the average person. And it's way more than that. Same way with politics. It's way more than politics. Most people think that if they go into politics, they don't have to deal with the other side or different sides. In order for something to get voted in, you got to have participation on both sides. It just can't be one-sided. It probably won't work. Especially when you're talking about the state politics and stuff like that, House of Representatives and all that good stuff. It's so much more to it that we don't know. And that's why I'm asking this question. How much does the regular person know about mainstream politics? When we think about people that we know, we think about ourselves. How many people really have sat down and read a 200 plus page policy on either side? How many of us has read that? A lot of people don't even want to read instruction manuals, a 5-page instruction manual. But you're going to tell me that people read a 300-page policy. I think we have to be honest about how much does a regular person know about mainstream politics. There used to be this old saying. Older people used to say all the time, speak on what you know. But there's a lot of people out here speaking about politics, and they don't know. They only know what they being showed on CNN, MSNBC, all these other channels. But do they know what does a politician do from day to day? Why do they do the things that they do? Why do they make the decisions that they make? In my opinion, I don't think the average person, if you did a poll, I don't think the average person, it'll probably be like maybe 1 or 2% of people that really delve in and do the research and really know about politics. Because as a regular working person, you really don't have time from a day to day. You get up, you get ready. If you got kids, you got to get your kids ready. You go to work, kids go to school. You get off work, pick up kids from school. Then if any activities or anything to do with the family, you do that. And then you come home, wind down. Probably about 8:39, everybody going to bed, and then you doing it all over again. Tell me within that pattern, does a person have time to really delve into politics or the mainstream politics, the research? Most people don't have that kind of time. The regular working person don't have that kind of time. You just don't. Some people may do. Let me know in the comments if you do. But most people, in my opinion, I'm going to say about 90% of working average people, citizens, don't have time to research and really know the in-depthness of politics unless you're working in a certain section of politics. And even if you're working in a certain section, you still don't know about the whole picture of politics. Because there's a lot of positions, a lot of things in politics. Some positions we don't even know about as regular people. We just don't. There are positions in IT that people don't know about. Most people just don't help desk because they help you with the computer. But they don't know about other positions, whether it's programmers, server administrators, network engineers, people like that. A lot of people don't even know about that. So think about politics, stuff you don't know about. Campaign stuff. How does that work? How does staffing work for a campaign? How does a House, a representative, or a Senate, a Congress hearing, how is that ran? A lot of people won't even sit through a whole, if you gave them a chance to sit through a whole hearing, a lot of people won't even sit through. You probably be doing that. how many people will sit through that? So, my last tip before I get off this, how much does the regular person know about mainstream politics? Let me know in the comments. So, why personal development over politics? My last thing, and I'm about to roll out this thing. How education can be combined with skills to gain advantages. When you live in the inner city, I have to stress this. When you live in the inner city, you don't have financial resources most of the time. That's why you in the inner city. Don't have financial resources. I've been there. Don't have it. You just don't have the excess amount of money. You only have just enough money to pay your bills and maintain a house, maybe a car, and your expenses to live, food, clothes, so you can go to work. You don't have the access after bills. Most people in the inner city, when you look at the median or just the average person, after you pay all of your bills, how much do you have left over? Free and clear. And it really ain't even free and clear, because after you pay all your bills, after you cover all those things, and if you have a car, any other thing, you got to think about clothes, food, gas, maintenance of a car, maintenance of a house when something breaks. You constantly got to get gas maybe once or twice a week. So if you in a certain tax range, let's say if you were under 40,000 and under, because I've been there, you may have, after you pay your bills, $300 to $500 left over, free and clear. And that has to last you until you get paid again. So when I hear people saying people living check to check, depending on if you live in the inner city, most people probably do, because you're not making enough to have an excess amount of money to put aside that you don't have to touch. It's a very hard thing to do. It's not easy. However, when you graduate high school, don't fall for the gap year, because you never know what might happen in life. What I was talking about earlier, you got to stay on point. When you stay on point and you realize your personal development is important, you don't fall for the stuff it's easy. You don't fall for like the gap year stuff. I'm telling you from a person that's 41, you need to focus on your personal development once you graduate high school. If you can work a job and you can take 1 or 2 classes a semester, or you can go work at an apprenticeship and get your hours in and then learn around that while you're working in the apprenticeship. If you don't do either one of those things, if you don't get a job and go to take 2 classes, go to an apprenticeship or a vocation, you just work at a retail place, after 2 to 3 years, you're going to get a negative gain. You have to find ways. That's the way kind of in the inner city to hack to get ahead, is you have to find a way to increase your value based on the proximity of where you live. You may live in a place where trades is the dominant market. You may live in a place where working in technology is the dominant market. You may live in a place where working in nursing may be the dominant market. You have to do the research. You have to sit down, do the research, figure out what's the best market for me to work in. And you got to remember, easy jobs don't pay that much. A person that worked a lot of easy jobs, they don't pay that much. The challenging jobs, the jobs that you have to think and solve problems, pay more money. Remember that I told you that. Education is the way to get out the hood, but you have to understand it. You have to trust the process, and you have to stay on the path until you're finished. And I'm telling you that if you start young, When you're 19, 20, you could be done by the time you're 25. And at that point, you're just waiting on opportunities to come your way based on the education that you have. And remember this. Once you get to those milestones in education, whether it's an apprenticeship, whether you're a journeyman, apprentice, whether you're a degree, bachelor, undergrad, or grad, or a terminal degree like a master degree, a JD, those milestones, they cannot be taken. Even though things may change, those milestones that you get will not change. They won't. And if you get the right degree that can enhance your skill set, not only will that help you be a better entrepreneur, because now you have the education along with the skills, it'll translate to the job market because you have something that you can add and something that you can leverage off of as far as experience level and skill. If you don't educate yourself, it's hard to progress and skip. You almost can skip a couple steps when you educate yourself in the right field. Some fields you have to look it up. Is not a large ceiling to grow in. And there are some fields that is unlimited growth. You have to find those fields based on the proximity of where you live. And that's what I would focus on. Personal development over politics. I don't know enough about politics to invest so much time into something I don't know enough about. But what I do know is my personal development as a provider, as a husband, and as a father is very important. And politics ain't going to do it. Mainstream politics ain't going to do it. My time investment, the wisdom of God that gives me the insight on what moves to make and what opportunities to take, that's what I'm going to deal with mostly than mainstream politics, what I see on TV. So with that being said, make sure you understand that as a regular working person, how much do we really know about politics, and understand why your personal development is crucial, very crucial, especially in 2024 and going forward. You have to make it your business to stay on point and to work on your personal development. This is Mike. I'm signing out. Thanks for watching. Mike Motivation, where I give it to you straight. No cupcake, no icing, just straight up motivation. This is Mike. I'm signing out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and help me grow. I'm out.